friends, welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture we are going to discuss what is framing in data link layer. So in the last video we discussed various responsibilities of the data link layer. Now we will be looking at what is framing in data link layer. So I already told you about the ISO OSI model. So when you are sending any message, that message will move from application layer, it will cross transport layer, network layer, then it will reach at the data link layer. Okay, so any message we are sending, let's suppose it is hi, this is our content of the message. Then we have source port number, destination port number, source IP and destination IP. So all this information has been embedded to the message. Now this message has reached at the data link layer. So what data link layer is going to do? Data link layer is going to add start frame delimiter to this message, and it is going to add end frame delimiter. It is basically start frame delimiter, and it is EFD is basically end frame delimiter. What is the use of start frame delimiter and end frame delimiter? So let's suppose this is a network, this is one network and this is some another network. And I am assuming that we have a bus topology in this network. All the devices are connected to a bus in this network. And we have many hosts present in this network. So what is the use of start frame delimiter? Let's suppose my device resides here and I am having friend Aman. She resides in this network. So firstly, whenever I am sending message to someone, in this case I am sending message to my friend Aman. So when you send any message, it is very important to determine that whether the recipient or the destination machine exists in the same network or the destination machine exists in some different network. It is very important to know. So when I am sending my message, all the devices, let's suppose my device resides here and I am sending message, hi. And I am adding destination IP address with this message. All this information I am embedding with this message. So all the other machines of the same network will be checking this message. Will be checking this message to know that whether the coming message is for them or not. This machine is going to see this message. This machine is going to see this message, because they don't know to whom this message is going. So each and every machine on the way is going to check for the message. Each and every machine on the way is going to check the destination IP address, so that they can know whether the coming message is for them or not. Okay, so what the first situation is, all the other machines going to remain active all the time. The first situation is all the machines going to remain active all the time. They are 24 hours looking at the channel and they are just waiting for the messages coming on the channel continuously. So that is the first situation. But if all the other machines are continuously looking for the messages coming on the channel continuously 24 hours, then they are just going to waste their times. is coming on the network. But if they are looking for the message 24 hours on the channel, they are just wasting their time. So if let me give you one example. If you are in a home and there is a car outside, you will know that there is car outside? No. But if you listen the horn of the car, you will get to know that okay, there might be a car outside. So same situation is here. What we are doing, we have a start frame delimiter. Start frame delimiter is acting like a horn. So when this message reached at here, it is acting like a horn. It is a kind of some bits. It is a kind of some circuit. When this message is coming at here, it is going to horn. It is going to make horn, and all the other machines become active now. Because initially what they were doing, they were waiting 24 hours for the messages. But now when they will be looking for the messages, when they listen the horn, only then they will become active, and then they will be only looking for the messages. So that is the basic use of start frame delimiter. So instead of waiting continuously every time for the messages, you are saying machines that just relax. When we will be sending messages, you will get some horn and then become active and look if that message is for you or not. So that is the basic idea of using start frame delimiter. So now let me tell you what is end frame delimiter. We have discussed start frame delimiter. Now we will be looking at what is the use of end frame delimiter. So end frame delimiter means that it is not that you are sending only one packet on the network. There might be many packets like this coming on the network. This is nothing, your message is nothing but some set of bits. So there is also a possibility that after this message, some another message is coming. There is also a chance, and we send messages continuously, one after another. So there is a chance that after this message, some other message is coming. So how will you identify that this message has been completed at this point? If some other bits are coming after this, you will not be able to recognize that okay, this message has been completed here. So that is the reason that we are using end frame delimiter. End frame delimiter is basically used so that we can determine that now our packet has been completed, and this is the one packet we have. This is just a single packet, and this packet gets completed at the end frame delimiter. And any packet which is coming after end frame delimiter, that is actually your second number packet. So that is the reason that we are using end frame delimiter. So now let me tell you one more thing. We basically have two types of framings. We have two types of framing. One, we have a fixed size framing. A fixed size framing. And one, we have dynamic size framing. So what is fixed size framing? If all the frames which you are sending on the network has same size. Let's suppose all the frames are going to be 100 KB. Each and every frame which you are sending on the network has a size of 100 KB. So if all the frames are having same size, then you really don't need to use the end frame delimiter. You can count the bits. With the help of counting bits, you can determine that okay, this frame or the length of the frame ended at this particular point. That is actually your fixed size framing, where each frame size is having the same length. And what is a dynamic sized framing? Dynamic sized framing is a framing where each and every frame is having a different size, different length of bits. So one frame is of 100 kb, one is of 50 kb, this way. So each and every frame which we are sending on the network is having different sizes. So in this case, we really need to have a end frame delimiter, because you are not fixing your frame. You cannot determine that what is the size of the frame without having end frame delimiter. So that's why we really need end frame delimiter in dynamic sized framing. But we have some problem of using end frame delimiter. So let's suppose this is your message. Let's suppose this is your message. We are really having problem if we are using end frame delimiter, and this is our end frame delimiter. So there is no issue with the start frame delimiter, but we have a problem with end frame delimiter. So even if you look 0, 1, 1 bits in the end frame delimiter, you will say that okay, now our frames is getting ended at this particular point. But there is also a chance that the bits which you are using for your end frame delimiter might also come in the message. Look at this 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So there is also a chance that end frame delimiter bits might be matching with the message bits. So now you are not able to determine. You are looking at here, and if you look at the bits 0, 1, 1, what machine can understand that okay, this is a end frame delimiter, because end frame delimiter and message bits are same. So device might get confused that this is the end frame delimiter and it considered it as a packet. It is not considering all these bits as a part of one single packet. It might think that okay, my packet is ended at this particular point. So we really need to choose the end frame delimiter wisely. So what are the ways to choose your end frame delimiter? We have two ways. Character stuffing. One way is character stuffing, and the second way is bit stuffing. We have two ways which we can use to differentiate end frame delimiter with the message bits. So the one way is character stuffing, the second way is bit stuffing. So what we really do in character stuffing? In character stuffing, the various symbols like @ null, dollar. So all these symbols we are going to stuff this kind of symbols in the message bits, like 0, 1, 1. This pattern 0, 1, 1 is similar to the end frame delimiter. So what we want to do? We want to make distinguish between end frame delimiter and the message bits. So what I am going to do? I am going to put @1 before 0, 1, 1. So now if you are looking any similar pattern in the end frame delimiter and the message bit, you are able to distinguish both with the help of @ symbol. If before 0, 1 @ symbol is coming, you can say that this is a message bit. If there is no @ symbol coming before end frame delimiters @ you can say that it is end frame delimiter. So now we can easily make distinction between end frame delimiter and the message bits. Okay, so this is actually your character stuffing. You are going to add some symbol or character before the pattern which is similar to the end frame delimiter in the message. So that is our first stuffing, which is character stuffing. Now we will be discussing what is bit stuffing. So end frame delimiter bits and the message bits are same. We are having problem in differentiating both message bits and end frame delimiter. We are going to stuff one bit in the message. So you understand that the end frame delimiter is 0, 1, 1. So we don't want any pattern like this in the message. We never want 0, 1, 1 in the message, because if it is occurring in the message, we will not be able to differentiate. What we are doing, 0, 1, 1. So after 0, 1, I am putting 0 bit in the message field. So what is going to be my new message? 0, 1. Then I don't want 1 after 0, 1, because if after 0, 1, 1 is coming, no, we can't distinguish between end frame delimiter and message. So what I will be doing, I will be putting 0. Then 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay. So this is the new message which I am sending. This is the new message which I am sending to the receiver. And what receiver is going to do? Receiver is going to delete 0 bit after 0, 1. This bit is not of any use. To just distinguish between these two things, we just added one extra bit. So what we are doing, we will be deleting it. 0, 1, 1, 0. So receiver is going to receive the original message like this, which sender is sending. We just added extra bit. Receiver is going to remove all those bits. Let's take one more example. Let's take one more example. I have end frame delimiter 0, 1, 1. So this is my end frame delimiter. And what is my message? 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. So this is my message which I am sending to the receiver. But if you look at these two things, end frame delimiter and message bits are same. So we will get confused between the end frame delimiter and message. So we have to stuff some extra bits in the message. So what you will be doing, 0, 1, 1, 0. This 0 I am going to stuff after 0, 1, 1. So that I can differentiate between the end frame delimiter and the message. So 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1, 1. I am putting 0 here. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Now if you look at, there is a no similarity between the end frame delimiter and the message bit. You will never get 0, 1, 1 in the message. Why? Because we have stuffed some of the bits. And what the receiver will do? What receiver will do? After 0, 1, 1, receiver is going to remove these bits. Like 0, 1, 1, remove these bits. And receiver is going to get the original message. So my next question is, why I am inserting extra 0 bit after 0, 1, 1? Why didn't I insert 0 after 0, 1? The answer is, if you are going to insert 0 after 0, 1, what you have to do? You have to do lot of stuffing. You have to do lot of extra bits in the message. So that's why we try to pick the maximum number of patterns we can get. So 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. So this is the maximum number of bits you can consider, because you have to do less number of stuffing in the message bits. If you are doing stuffing after 0, 1, lot of bits are there, like 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, put 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So in this I inserted only 2 bits, but in this I have inserted 3 bits. So more bits you have to add, because 01 is the shortest length of the string. So you have to add more number of bits in the message. So what we try to do? We try to pick the maximum number of possible bits, and after that we try to add stuffing of bit. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.